Guys, I'm back. Yes, it is me. Back here, finally getting some deck doctoring done. Um, OFC, you gave me a list a few weeks ago, almost like 2 weeks ago, I want to say, for a. Where is it now? Here we go. For your Rotbeard deck. I went ahead and I deck doctored that. I made it into a little more of a just a synergistic aggression style deck that we have that we've built off of it. I felt that your deck it was obviously you weren't here on the stream when I did it, but I felt the deck was going more into it was trying to be somewhat of an aggro or tempo style deck is what I was playing it as, and a lot of the cards in there did fit that theme very well. I did take out some cards that I didn't really understand. The Umbron Terror Guard I felt was more of like a control style deck. I'm not sure if I actually kept the Vile Breath Creebles. I did not keep the Vile Breath Creebles. It was another one of those things where I didn't really need the milling or the 2 damage elsewhere. I put in the Vile Breath Hexers instead. Now I added these in over the Vile Breath Creebles because, as I said, I was doing a more of an aggro style deck. So having that like an additional 4 damage and milling 2 cards didn't really affect my aggro style because I didn't care about them milling specific cards. What I did care about is them healing, because I have a lot of damage in here from the Creeble Thieves that I added in, or yeah, the Sneaky Creebles and the Spectral Widows. That their damage prevention didn't matter too much to me, but it was their healing that I needed to stop. So having a Hexer come in here, making their Boulder Feast pretty much deal 6 damage to them, and then drawing a card when it expires is going to keep my hand synergy nice and consistent. I did include 2 Eternal Hunters and 2 Shady Recruiters. Now, the Eternal Hunters in here really only look for the Shady Recruiters, but it's a simple fact that laying 1 card gets you this card and plays it for free because it's Dread, and then gets you 2 more Creeble cards. This 1 card thins your deck out of 3 cards, getting that down to the point where your deck, your only top draw cards are going to be those immense damaging cards that you're going to want to draw. And then I did put in an Epic Banquet because I did find us drawing cards rapidly, and all of your resource damage comes from your Creeble cards. So having 1 in the little bit of a late game to then put 3 of those back, draw a card off of it as well, even if then to lay another Shady Recruiter and get more Creeble cards back into your hand, that's kind of what I did for this. The Lurking Horror I found to be very useful, as it reduces their healing once again, and then increases all of the damage that you do along with, like the Corrupted Spirit gets increased, Scapegoat gets increased, Creeble gets increased, the Vile Breath Hexer gets increased, but just preventing your opponent from healing was a big key of why I kept that in there. So this deck it's very aggressive, but it's not as aggressive as some other decks because the highest damage you can really do is off of a Shadehoof Scapegoat is 4. None of the cards in here do more than 4 damage, so like 5 and 6, those really impactful aggro cards. If you're going against another aggro deck, you might struggle a little bit because the only healing you have is like a Gut Belch Fanatic, Assassin's Guild. You have really consistent card draw, but it's the simple fact that your damage output does not match some of the other decks that do a lot of damage, like 5 and 6 cards. So that's where I have Death Shroud in here, Devour Soul healing you, and Shadow Form to be more of your defensive style things. And you are drawing so many cards with your poison aspects that when you get into a hole where you need a big spike healing, that's where these cards combos come into play. And if not, and you can bring them down, Horrific Manifestation is just 10 damage. Just boom right off the bat. Burst of Venom is 8 damage that you just go ahead and snap right off the back. So this one should get you some nice ping damage with the ability of Creeble to Undead. Like I said, especially if it's Eternal Hunter is an Undead card that searches for this card, which then gives you 2 Creeble cards. That is going to be an Undead and a Creeble card, which will get that ping damage going through really nicely. It's like I said, the only down draw is the simple fact that you're not going to do as well against the common aggro deck. It's like 6 damage, 6 damage, 5 damage. Because like I said, your damage potential output is only around 4 instead of 5 or 6. So you need to keep that in mind when playing this style of build. That Death Shroud, Devour Soul, Shadow Form, all these big healing is going to be the way to kind of counteract that and stay alive past that. And yes, I am more than okay copying this deck list for you and sending it your way. Now that the website is up. There you are, sir. There's the deck list that I came up with after your Rotbeard build. Hopefully you enjoy it. As I said, it is more of an aggressive style build. I wasn't sure if you were going aggression or if you were trying to go like more control-y or what style of deck you were doing. I just viewed it as how I was playing it. It played more easily as an aggro style. So hopefully I played it right and was able to help you out with that. Now Cecilia has sent me another Bumbler deck. Should be interesting. It is a nature style build. Turn legacy off. Oh my word. We're looking for Hive Bark. Hive Bark is going to be the hero. Combos we are looking for are, of course, Bane Bloom, Nature's Fury, Spiritual Turmoil, Stampede, and Terraform. Awesome. Cannot wait to see what this comes up to. We have a Bramble Spike. I heard Bumbler. I'm intrigued. Everyone should be. We have 2 Caretakers. Now we're actually going to go into tech here. That's not tech. I was like, what? How does... We're going to look for 2 Chrono Anglers, 2 Chrono Moths, 2 Epic Masters, and a Flynamo. Very nice. Back to nature. Gonna go 2 Swarms. Two Mossfoot. No, 3 Mossfoot. 2 Moss Ridge. Look at these beautiful Reckless Souls here. Beautiful, right? Or Reckless Spirits. They're great. And, of course, the meat of everything. 3 Royal Bumblers. 2 Spirit of Balances. 2 Swamp Guides. 1 Blacksmith and 2 Marauders. I am missing something. A second Flynamo. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and get this deck list updated. Says I do not see healing. There's the Bramble Spikes can be healing. Gotta wait. This whole Steam Labs loves to just be a jerk to me. Where are you? Properties. There we go. Get the right images hooked up. Beautiful. Beautiful. So we're already seeing a lot of debate on this deck. I'm kind of surprised. All right, let's check this thing out. There's 3 Anchored Souls. What? Where? Where in the deck list does it show 3 Anchored Souls? Oh. Oh no. The images were bugging out. So I was putting in Reckless Spirits, but it showed them as Anchored Souls. Yes. Fatal Stealth. Hello. Just finishing the matches, uploading the rest. Awesome, dude. Well, when you get those uploaded, I'll be sure to comment on them. Okay. I think I'll just pass draw here. So I'm looking at the Stampede card. There is Chronomoth, Insect Swarm, Royal Bumbler, and that's about it. Do you run Stampede in here just to pay for a lot of the other combos? Spirit of Balance and Swamp Guide are good. And potential for the bugs we played. Okay. Don't quite have our time yet. Okay. Need to prevent some damage here. I do like the Marauder into Bumbler. 14 damage feels pretty good for a turn. That's a buff. Spirit of Balance won't do anything. Feels fine. So I think I'm in agreement. Epic Master does feel kind of out of place. I do think Fountain of Time would be better. If the reasoning is that they spin Mossfoot Shimmer Riders forward too along with it. If you have Bumbler and then you Mossfoot Shimmer Rider to get Epic Master out, you won't be able to activate the Bumbler the next turn. So it's not as impactful as just being able to Fountain of Time and then Bumbler in one turn. That was actually probably better. However, with Flynamo, it's essentially like a Fountain of Time. But Fountain of Time can also be used defensively to rotate your opponent's buffs backwards as well. Oh boy. Thing is, I'm at 1. I don't know if this is going to do anything. Love Boulder just tuned in. Thanks for being here, Mud Turtle. This will heal me, but being at 4 to 3 isn't that much of a difference. Forgot Spirit of Balance is my top card. He doesn't do anything. Well, you know what? Sometimes being at 4 and 3 is different. So yeah, I do like Fountain of Time over the Epic Masters. Especially if we're just using it to rotate stuff forward. Because the only other one that it could hit in that sense is the Mossfoot Ridge, or the Mossfoot. And laying a Mossfoot and then laying the Epic Master will spin the Mossfoot forward, but then you won't be able to use the Bumbler until next turn. And the Bumbler is what's really impactful here. I almost want to say I'm going to take one Mossfoot out for a second Tantosian, because we really need to get our item online. Chrono Angler just looks at the bottom 4 cards, right? Yeah. Which is good in counteracting with Swamp Guide. That's really good for that. Two Moss Ridge and 2 Gardeners? Probably not. I mean, Royal Bumbler itself is a very slow card. In the meta that's right now, it's just all aggro. I think we need to... Let's look at the defense here that we have access to. That are not Legacy. Ah, turn Legacy off. Time Shifter's not worth it. I think 3 Fountain of Times are good in this deck. Like, Bramble Spike is nice to be able to look at the top 4 card, but I'd rather just get card draw with Swamp Guide. In all honesty. Get a 3rd Swamp Guide in there. Since we actually are playing nature, I would love to see a Tree Bark Hive. Is my audio not synced up? Is that what's going on? Well, the reason I will agree with you, TS, that probably Barkeep's over Swamp Guide, but Swamp Guide works really well with Chrono Angler, which is why I'm kind of keeping that synergy to see if that'll work. Well, Mud, that's like saying Barkeep is netting you 1 card. Are you going to stop running Barkeep? But I would actually really like to see... Man. The thing is, the Mossfoot doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot in this deck. It's just there. I would like to see some Tree Bark Hives. Because we do have Insect Swarms and Royal Bumblers. And if they get removed, we get to look for a Royal Bumbler or an Insect Swarm and heal for 3. Leafweb Wanderer. I mean, we're using Chronomoth, but it's unfortunately not that good with Wanderer. Plus the Hive Bark recursion. Oh, yeah, sorry, the hero. Yes. High Bark allows you to move the insects back into your deck. Exactly. So maybe we actually do this. Yeah, there is not a whole lot of healing, if any, in this deck. Spirit of Balance is good. It's fun. But my god, there's like no healing. Fatal Zeph, you're mad at Shadow? What did Shadow ever do to you? Your week 2 games? Okay, yeah, I'll agree with you there. See, it's funny because in this style of deck, with all the insect stuff you're doing, first of all, we should probably include camouflage. Camouflage is just really good. Oh, did you? Nice. So we're just waiting on Rocket Star to upload the second one? Okay. So as soon as that goes, then we can jump back into the last bit of commentary. Yeah, I'm trying to... Because what would happen if we just did this? Put in a third Swamp Guide. And either a third Angler or a third Fountain of Time. I think a third Fountain of Time will be fine. It's the better one to have in this deck anyway. I mean, probably not. Fatal Zephyr, probably not. This is just a deck submission given to me by Lightseeker Cecilia, who wanted a second opinion on it. So I'm trying to keep it to her deck construction standards of time. But I mean, I've tried several renditions of Bumbler to see which ones works. So, Bumbler, it's a very fun and interesting card, but it's It's very it's one of those cards that like looks really impactful, looks really fun, but it's very difficult to play with. Because I saw you play a deck with it that used the these what was it? The Spectral Mantics, the Mantics Weavers, along with the Mossfoot Ridge Riders. That was a really cool concept that I started with before too, and I was like, oh, man, I don't know how this works. You made a Death Hunter Bumbler deck. Very nice. Does it work as expected? I like the deck too. I never considered putting him in Adrak because I was like, well, Adrak, you want your animal buffs to rotate out. But hey, no. So, oh, looks like we actually have a third slot to use. Go for a third Moss Ridge. Just for a little more defense. So Chrono Anglers are nice after the Swamp Guide to be able to draw basically all 3 cards. Really thin out our deck while doing the 2 defend cards. Flynamo is really fun for defending abilities. Fountain of Time instantly triggers the Royal Bumbler in. Doesn't seem too bad. Third Blacksmith? It's true. I probably should. I probably should. Because without the item, none of these cards matter. Yeah. You bring up a very good point. Because even though it never goes to waste. Because it is just to defend with an additional action. You are absolutely 100% correct. Stampede, however, only activates off of 2 cards since I took the Chrono Anglers out. So I do want to change the combo that we are running with. It's true, a tome can be very nice on this deck. Grappling Roots doesn't seem too bad. What are our combos for time? We never get Hyper Rewind off, right? We never get that off. Yeah, there's no way. Like, yeah, you put in 2 Bumblers, that'd be awesome. But there's no way you're saving all that time cards. There's no way it's happening. Put Hungry Behemoths for buff removal bait. Not bad. Alright, so it looks like... Okay, we'll try this deck. We'll see how this deck improves. OFC, have a good one. See you next week, man. So I'll give this deck a shot. We'll see if the way I improved it is anywhere near the improvement costs. And then after this, Rocketstar and Fatal Zeph's games are finally uploaded, so we will go back and we'll comment on those bad boys. And boom, here we go. Makes sense to me, Mud. Alright, so let's try this. No reason to rush our Flynamo out. No reason to do that. So one Umbron. Okay. It's funny that he thinks we're going to be attacking. I feel no threat. I'm just going to pass. Pass again, no reason to do anything. Well, we got a Bumbler now. You forgot there's a practice mode? It's okay. I think a lot of people do. I could do this turn, but I think I'll draw and do it next turn. That's upsetting. It's very upsetting. I could Royal Bumbler Flynamo. No, because that'll spin this forward before I Marauder. Man, do I do anything? I don't think I do, sadly. Yeah, that Wall of Bones is kind of being detrimental right now. Using cards like Defiler. If he wants to waste his buff removal on my insects, go for it, my man. A second Flynamo. Okay. How many... I have the list right there. The Tree Bark Hives. Those, like, I feel like I need to add 3 of those in here. They're really good. Especially with all the insect buffs that I'm putting down. Um, no reason to do anything just yet. Let's hit him big. Oh no, all of my attack cards went away. Whatever will I do? Drew 2 Umbrons. Okay, that's fine. I think that'll be a next deck doctor that I do. Should have Blacksmith first? I guess, yeah, I guess I could have Blacksmith attacked, then Umbron Marauder. Yeah. Keep those. No! Oh! Okay, guys, don't make the mistake I did. Wow! Yep, I used the once ability to turn game instead of the fly demo. Oh, no. Well, guys, there goes getting the insects back. That did not work out in my favor. Whew, well, not gonna have a late game anymore. I'll tell you that much. That hurt. That hurt a lot. I can't really do anything because all my cards are defend. Best player right here. Oh man, you know what would be really great if I had this ability to bring those insect swarms back. Oh, I don't anymore because I'm so terrible. It's the Benji mind games. You know it is. Everyone knows it is. All right. Defend. Nope, just don't do anything. Draw cards. Look at that. Look at that. I get the Tree Bark Hive as well. Did I already use my Reckless Spirit? What did I Reckless Spirit? Or no, I just didn't take Reckless Spirit? Am I just that? Yeah, I guess I am. Alright, cool. Cool, I'm just that good at this game. So let's do this. Blacksmith again. Nope. Hit him for 8. Oh, it moved because of Kriebel. Oh, okay. So it takes 8 damage. He's going to heal for 4. Are you for real? Oh, wait. He has no undead buffs in play, though. So he's just healing. He's just healing. Okay. Mud, have a good one, man. I get to lay that card. Reveal infected veggies. Can't do that because I already used time. That's right. So just pass. Oh my. Alright, well, it's happening. It's happening. So he's going to heal. think that's all I do. Man, this Banshee is taking me for a wild ride. Now I draw it? Really? So I could defend and get initial action for free, but I wouldn't be able to do anything with it. I could Mossfoot Gardener to heal, and that would be 3. But it's still damage prevention up. I think I just do this and remove that Watchers Trader. Because with the damage prevention, me getting that really good swing turn wouldn't matter too much. I used my time, so I can't Flynamo. Those two. Just so it's surrounded. Just because I can. You know what? Here comes the Shadow Puppet. Alright. Alright. We're doing it. This totally didn't count. Oh, man. Alright, well, we did it, guys. We did it. It worked. I do like the Fountain of Times over the FF Masters. I do like the inclusion of the hives that I added in the Tree Bark Hive for getting insects to draw or insects if they remove them. The Chrono Angler actually worked really well, but it came down to a lot of the things where, like, the Marauders were nice. Marauders were nice, but I don't feel they're necessary. It is a really nice, like, 6 damage than something else, but I'm wondering if adding in a different defend card would work. Obviously, a lot, like, only all of your damage is coming from Royal Bumblers. Is that Tree Bark thing? Yes. Tree Bark Hive is wave 5. So is Swamp Guide. Ah, okay. Gotcha. But, yeah. I mean, I feel like it's a step in the right direction. At least for running with time. The Fountain of Times work really well. The Chrono Anglers work fantastically well in this. I might actually want to add in 3. Because you get to play it for free without it consuming an action. So if you can, like, essentially Chrono Angler works as a Fountain of Time. You can lay this for a defend, pick like a Mossfoot Gardener as another defend, and then you still have your other action to do. You could even pick a Tantosian Blacksmith that's 2 defends, and then you get an additional action, so it's 2 more actions to do. So it's a lot of fun things to do with Chrono Angler that I might want to add 3 into this. The Tree Bark Hive, I didn't draw it right away, but it was another nice buff just to have out there. And once again, if they remove an insect buff, you heal for 3 and get to move an insect card to your hand, which then thins out your deck to put another Royal Bumbler in, or to put an Insect Swarm or something like that in. And then, of course, you get to Hive Bark your things back if you don't do it improper like I did. Maybe it's fine doing it too. Maybe it's just another thing that you do later in the game. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like there's something here. There's something to be said about this. It's just, like, putting all your eggs in one basket for Royal Bumbler feels bad in itself. Because you have to wait so long to get the 8 damage in, and do all those other things that, like, it's one of those things you're like, man, this is taking forever to do. But it's Royal Bumbler, man. It's a buff that looks really interesting. Wait, how do I only have? I have no real. What happened to all? That's not right. Look at all these Royal Bumblers I have. What do you mean I have 0? I don't even have 0 Royal Bumblers. I have so many Royal Bumblers. Don't even tell me I have 0. But yeah, so that's what happened. All right, we're gonna take another short break, and then we'll come back and we'll comment on Fatal Zeph and Rocket Czar's Week 4 games. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.